Hello, here we go, we're live. So the first thing I need to do is double check that everything's working as it should be. If there's any problem with the audio, if you can't hear me, please let me know, but I'm hoping we're good. Just got the notification from YouTube that I'm live over there, so that's good. How is everyone? Hi there, Jean. Good early morning. What time is it where you are? You're in Oregon. Now, you said Southern Oregon, so that's not near Portland, right? That's further down. Because if I remember rightly, Portland is up further north. When I was there many years ago, hey Judy, how you doing? When I was there many years ago in Portland, and my ex-husband and I, in 2000, we travelled up the west coast. We started in LA. We flew into LA and then spent some time in Santa Barbara and then San Francisco, and then caught a train up to Seattle. But we stopped on the way. We stopped in Portland. So there we go. Can you hear me okay, guys? How is the sound tonight? I'm hoping it's good. Rightio. And I see, Jean, you were here a little bit early, so I'm wondering if you're still here now. It's 7:22 when you made that comment, and it's now 7:31. So hello. Oh, yes, 5 hours south. Yeah, that's what I thought. Portland's further up north, because we went up to see Mount St. Helens like you do. And I remember I think we must have hired a car for that. And we drove from Portland to Mount St. Helens, and that was sort of up near the border somewhere. All good. Fantastic. Used to live in Santa Barbara. An old school friend of mine that I went to school with here in country New South Wales, country Australia. He moved over there and was working for a big chemical company over there and working on a cure for cancer. Last I heard from him, but I don't know where he is now. I don't know that he's still there. So there we go. Hi, Joan. Nice to see you up in Queensland. All right. Hey, Margaret. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Deb. We have lots of people coming on board here tonight. So happy Sunday, guys. Tomorrow is Monday and we start the working week. I don't know how you guys feel. I'm one of those weird people that actually really likes Mondays because I love my job. So, to be able to do it for another week is actually something I look forward to, which is great. And I have a little bit of a routine Monday morning. I go live for my team every Monday morning. And then, I have a whole bunch of things. I'm working on a team retreat this week. So the next couple of days, I'm going to have my head down to the ground, cutting up cardstock and putting stuff in bags and sending it out. So there we go. Sound is great on YouTube. Fantastic. That's what we like to hear. Hey, Denise, how are you? Nice to see you there. All right. Hi, Barb. Nice to see you. You're on Facebook. I went live everywhere tonight. I went private group, public group, and YouTube all at the same time. So I'm in 3 places tonight. Thank goodness for technology that works these things out. So it's been worth persisting with the sound problems I was having just to try and get it right so that I can be in several places at once and hopefully speak to more people. Hey, Janelle, nice to see you. Hi, Kay. It's a different Kay tonight. I don't know if we've met Kay, so nice to see you. All right, so I'm going to switch over to my camera here on the desk and let's see how we go. Click. There we are. All right, so we are working at the moment with the mini catalogue, and some of you may already know that I'm currently this week, I've got an online class running, okay, and this is the suite that we're using, so I'm going to do a card with the suite tonight, something different, something that I haven't done before. Well, I have done this technique before, and some of you may have seen me do it, but I haven't done it with this stamp set, so let's see how it goes. So the Heart and Home suite it's what they call a mega suite because there's 2 bundles in the one suite. There's the Blessings of Home bundle, which is stamps and dies, which is the one I'm using tonight. Then there's the Honeybee Home bundle, which is stamps and dies. These are like lots of little flowers and I guess you'd say little fronds of greenery, although of course they don't have to be green, they can be any color. We've got the 3D Hive embossing folder, the denim ribbon, the matte dots, the doilies, which I love the doilies. We've got the 2 Memories and More and envelopes. I don't have these yet, but they're on my next order. And the beautiful DSP. This is the whole suite, so it's a big suite, and you get a closer look at the stamps and the dies on the next page. Okay, For anyone who's placing an order this week, whether it be to get the class, it's just a minimum $50 order, or if you're placing an order that's bigger than that, don't forget, if you spend $90, you get a free celebration item. And hooray, all the celebration items are now available. Everything has now come in. So we were stuck for a while. We didn't have this one. We didn't have anything in the early days, the early stages of the catalogue. We didn't have the DSP. We do now. We have everything. We didn't have the girl catching the butterflies. We didn't have the combi. The combi is kind of the standout. There's a VW and a little race car as well. So this is a really cute little set. We didn't have this, the rainbow paper, which I might even use tonight. We'll see. We did have everything else, though. We had the marvelous paper and we had the otters. So now you can get the lot. Everything is up for grabs. So if you've been waiting to order because there were some things that weren't available, now you can. Okay, fantastic. If you have any questions, just reach out. Of course, the other thing that's happening with Celebration is there is an amazing joining special right now. So it's the same price as usual, $169, but you get $235 worth of products. And on top of that, they're going to give you free stamp sets, 2 free stamp sets of your choice. Okay, you can pick any 2 free sets, any 2 sets from the catalogue. So my advice to you is pick something you love and pick something that's higher value because you're going to get it for free, right? So why not? All right, let's start. Tonight I'm going to start with just a piece of basic white thick cardstock, and I'm just going to fold that in half because that's going to be our card base. And then I'll set that aside for a second. Actually, just pop it there for a second. Right. Hey there, Jenny. Oh, that's who it was. Susan said to me, I was talking to her this afternoon, Denise, and she said, it was a Mary or a Maria. And I'm thinking, I don't have any Marys and I don't have any Marias in my team. I can't remember. And, of course, I should have realised it was you. There you go. Well, I'll have to tell her I know who it is now. Did she make something gorgeous? She's very, very talented. I think she's also a very good friend, so I'm very biased. But she's fantastic. And I think you might have heard, I don't know if you heard, Denise, that she's speaking at our team retreat in a couple of weeks. So so she's one of my guest speakers. So that's kind of cool. Oh, she mentioned me. I hope it was nice. She better have said nice things about me after I said all those nice things about her. Hey, Cherie, nice to see you. Jenny, how are you going? Hope everything's going well at your house. All right, so we're going to use the Blessings of Home stamp set. And like I said, I'm going to do a actually, I'm just thinking, I've got a piece of, I'm deciding, okay, first time we've got to make a decision. I'm deciding whether we want to have purple flowers with this beautiful big stamp or whether we want to have blue flowers, you know, whether more like a denim blue. So which way will we go? Will we go the purple or will we go the blue? If we go the purple, I'm going to use this color as a base. If not, oh, I know which card she did. Yes. Oh, you mentioned me. Well, thank you. I hope you said nice things then. Isn't it funny? One side of the world to the other, and we all get to hang out together. And yeah, it's pretty amazing to me. I love, that was actually my favorite thing about Stampin' Up is it has brought so many people together, and I think that's really lovely. Kay says purple, and she's the first one. Oh, you were there too, Jean. All right, we're going to go purple, and that's what we're doing. All right, so let me grab my trimmer. Didn't realize I didn't have it at my desk. I'm using it at the moment to cut up my online class and my team retreat, and so it was not where it should have been. All right, so let's go. I'm making this card front size, which here with A4 paper. So if you're in Europe or if you're in Australia or New Zealand, this paper size is the right one for you. If you're in the US, it's similar. You have a 4-inch wide piece that goes on the front of your cards, and we have 10 centimeters. And then here, this side is 14.3. Okay, so this piece now is going to fit right on there, just like that. There we go. All right, so I'm deciding whether I'm going to go bigger or whether I'm going to go smaller. Maybe smaller today. All right, let's try the smaller one and see how we go. And I'm going to pop something underneath it. How are you, Nairi? Nice to see you. Happy Sunday. All right, I've cut these out. This is just normal plain white vellum, and I've cut it out with some of our stitched rectangles. So I wasn't sure which size I was going to use, so I cut out 2 because I can always do the other one later. And I'm going to be stamping this lovely big stamp on it. So this is what we're doing today. For those of you who haven't seen it before, it's the stained glass technique. You will have seen me do this a while ago. In fact, I think it was with our last celebration. And I'm just deciding whether I want to have this one or this one. Yeah, I am going to go the smaller one. I think it's going to give me a little bit more room. And we're going to stamp it in Versamark ink. That's good, Nari. I'm glad to hear. So I'm just going to tap this on, make sure I ink it up really well. And I'm doing it on this little mat here because it's easier for you to see what's going on rather than on the white background. So I'm going to, it's going to go off the page a little bit, but that's okay. I'm not worried about that. And I'm just going to stamp this so I get a good image. Hold it for a moment to transfer the ink. So Versamark, for anyone who doesn't know this stuff, it's clear. Okay, so it's not going to give us a particularly striking result immediately. You're going to think, well, what's the point? Nothing's happening. Doesn't look like anything is happening. But I'm going to then use white embossing powder on this. Okay, so this is my white embossing powder. If you don't have white embossing powder, it comes in our basic. There's a bit of cactus in there. Should get that out. If you don't have white embossing powder, you buy these as a 3-pack, and in the pack you have, there's black, there's clear, and there's white. I'm just going to add a bit more up the top here. I think I might have missed a bit up there. And I'm going to tap this off. Now hold on fairly tight and just lightly I flick over the back. I want to dislodge any extra powder that's sitting where it shouldn't. Now hopefully you can see that the image is coming through now, even though initially we couldn't see anything because it was clear. Once we add our white powder, it sticks to the Versamark image because the Versamark is sticky. Okay, so can everyone see that all right now? Now the other thing I always do, and if you've seen me do this before, you'll know, I always keep a brush. I've got a couple of different size brushes. This is a little one. And I'm just going to sort of zip around and make sure I get rid of any excess powder that might be hanging around. It's actually pretty good. It's come off pretty well. But this does help tidy it up a little bit if you have any stray bits. All right. Yep, that's looking good. Okay, and because the silicone mat is also heat resistant, that's going to manage quite well when we get our heat tool in. So I'm going to bring in my heat tool. This is the Stampin' Up heat tool, if you haven't seen it before. It has a little stand. Just a quick little guide to heat tools. All right, a heat tool needs to be hot enough that it's going to cook the powder, but not so hot that it's going to burn your paper. So paint stripper is too hot. Okay, it's going to burn your paper. A hairdryer is not hot enough. Plus, it's so blowy, it's going to blow your powder all over the place. So that's why a heat tool is great. If you don't have a heat tool, you can get, and there's a few of us who know this from past experience, you can get a reasonable result putting your paper over the top of the toaster. But be very, very careful that your paper does not burn in that case. It's not something I recommend, but I know people have tried it and got away with it if they didn't have a heat tool. In Australia, the heat tool sells for $50. I like this one because it has this plastic piece, because there's a metal end here. This hasn't been switched on this afternoon so I can touch it. Otherwise, it stays hot for ages. But it has the plastic over it to stop you from burning yourself on this metal bit, because I know somebody who burnt themselves, practically gave themselves 3-degree burns on their arm from the end of a heat tool. It was very not pretty. Now, the reason it's got a little stand, one other important thing, this has 2 speeds, a low speed and a high speed. So sometimes if you're working with very, very delicate materials, you may want to start on a low speed first. And then once it starts to cook, you maybe can move up to a higher speed. When I say high speed, it's higher heat and it does blow a little faster. There's also a stand. And what the stand is for is when you have finished, remember hot air rises, right? So you need to make sure that your that your heat tool is not completely flat on the desk, and that's why it's got this little stand, so that lifts the front of it up a little higher so that any hot air can escape, because if any hot air gets trapped in there, it can actually destroy the mechanism inside it if that happens enough times. Okay, it can damage it. So by having a little bit of a slant so that there is it's a way for the heat to escape, and it's going to actually keep your heat tool in good nick a bit longer. I hope that's useful information to somebody. Oh, a 9-month-old kitten. That sounds really cool, Jenny. He's listening to me. He might learn something. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this here, and I'm just going to use the end of my brush, or you can use whatever you like, just to stop it from blowing away. And we're going to heat this up. Now, at the start, it takes a little longer because the tools takes a little while to heat up properly, but once it's hot, it goes quite quickly. So I'm turning this up to the higher heat because it won't affect it. It's the higher heat will do a good job. And I'm just going to wait until I see it start to change. Now, you might see it starts to look whiter. Can you see it working? And once we get it good and hot, it'll happen quite quickly. So I've just got to cover, I've got to move my heat tool so I cover the whole image. So I want it to look white and solid, white and shiny everywhere that the stamp is. I'm going to turn that off for a sec and let's have a look at it. All right, so what I find is helpful is if you have like I've got a side lamp over here, and it's handy because I can sort of hold it so I can make sure the whole image is shiny. If it's dull anywhere, any bits that are not shiny, it means it hasn't cooked properly. Now, it's actually looking pretty good, and it looks like I've cooked it well. So that's ready to go. Just let's move our heat tool out of the way. All right. Okay, so what we're going to be doing is we're going to be using this with the stained glass technique, as I mentioned before, and for that we're going to be coloring on the reverse. So this is the reverse side. You can feel this side has got it's raised. You can feel the image on this side, so you want to have that facing down, and we're going to be coloring on the back. So I'm going to grab my fresh freesia markers, seeing as they're the ones that we decided on, and I haven't decided what color I want to do my leaves, but soft succulent is looking good. Soft succulent is quite a soft green. And if we need some darker green, we can bring in extra as well. We could bring in the evening evergreen, which is quite dark. And I'm deciding if I want to add another color. I have also got, if I want to make any darker bits, I've got some Highland Heather. That's the dark Highland Heather. So I may use that as well. All right, let's start with coloring these leaves. Now, the nice thing about this technique is that it's very forgiving, and you can just go straight over the background, and you don't even really need to worry about doing one petal at a time like you do when you do normal blends, because you're not really going to be blending it much. The blending part isn't going to show all that much. So you can go right over the lines because the white is going to hide it. Really, it's very, like I said, very forgiving, and you can just sort of. Now, so when we turn this over, you can see it's much softer on this side. Okay, so let's do a little bit more, and I'm going to do this one as well. Now, if I want to, I could also do the center of the flowers, like we could do them yellow or something like that. I haven't decided whether I want to do the center, but we can decide that. I'm actually wondering, shall we go really bold? Shall we add some bright pink flowers? Because given that it's going to tone down anyway, I'm thinking that might look nice. I could either go Blackberry Bliss, or that's a bit too purple maybe. Maybe I'll go Magenta Madness. That's a nice bright pink. What do we think? It is really effective when we're done. Just trust me. Hey, Kerry, nice to hear you. See you. Did you get my message? I left your message the other day. Hi, Cindy. All right. Let's bring in Magenta Madness. It's going to look sort of dark on this side, but don't panic because, like I said, it tones down on the other side. So you can see you don't have to be very precise at all. That's the darker one, so I'm going to go with the lighter one here. And maybe I'll do another one here. Sometimes when I'm working in here on a Sunday night or a Friday night when I'm doing my videos, the cats decide that it's time to be fed and they don't go to anyone else. They don't go, maybe, you know, maybe Dad will feed us or one of the kids. No, they think that maybe I will. So, you know, they start, especially Merlot, he starts knocking on the door because he wants me to feed him. I've got to train him that I'm not the only person that can do that. All right, let's see how this is looking. And I was going to do pale papaya as well, but I'm thinking that might be too light. Not sure. So when we turn this over, can you see that the colour's sort of starting to show? You can see the pink quite well, the purple not so much. I'm actually going to add a bit of the Highland Heather because that's a bit darker. And we're going to show that one up a little bit more. All right, let's use some soft succulent. So the important thing is to make sure that you're colouring on the back, okay, not the front. Because, oops, I just went over a petal of a flower. Never mind. Let me use up some of these ones. So saffron, I think so. I think so. Saffron might be a good choice. I don't have every colour in the blends, but I do have, these are one of the ones I use probably the most. So saffron, it's light, but I think it will look nice with this. It's coming together. Maybe I'll use, and I could also go Calypso Coral as well. That might look nice. You're so hot, or or do you mean my project is so hot? Is that what you mean, Jenny? Or do you mean you're hot as in temperature? I'm thinking that might be what you mean. All right, I'm going to add a bit of, actually, no, that's not dark enough. Let's try down here. Kind of adding a few things, a few bits and pieces. This is the dark one, so a bit of that. Oh, picked up a bit of alcohol ink there, but that's okay. Oh, and I missed a bit of a leaf down here. Okay, so it's pretty rough. Okay, we're going to turn it over and see. It doesn't, you can see it's not looking nearly as vibrant on the other side here, but that's okay. So we've got a couple of choices. Remember, we've got this piece that's going to go, when you put it on the purple, it changes color. Okay, you can see the colors start to come out a lot more. And I've also got some white here. Let's have a look at this because this is the right size. This is how it's going to look on the white. Now, I actually think I'm going to really like that the best. That's really nice, actually. See how the colors kind of pop when you put it on the white? Doesn't that look good? All right. One more thing I think I'd like to do. So I'm about to either wreck it or going to make it look amazing. This is the Pool Party. And I'm going to use the thin end. And I'm actually going to go on the back. Actually, it won't matter. I can use the other end on the back, and I'm going to go around this, and I'm actually going to add some Pool Party. And because the blends are alcohol markers, you can colour very quickly with them. So, and it kind of all blends together. And I'm just going to zip around this image, and I'm hoping what it's going to do is give me a look of, we'll see. Let's see if it works. Can't really see it there, but when we put it on the white, I think I rather like that. Can you see we've got the Pool Party showing through down the bottom here? That's looking really nice, isn't it? And it's a really soft look. Now, the cool thing is that because we have a design on here, it's really easy to put glue dots behind there and hide them. So let's turn this over and let's add our glue dots. I'm going to add them sort of in the places where the image is a bit busier, so you just can't see them. So I'm not going to add them right into the corners, except this corner I can, because I'm going to have a sentiment up there. Yeah, let's try that. So that one at the moment is sort of on its own. You can see that one, but that's where my sentiment's going to go, so I'm not worried about that. And I'm going to add one more. So this is a stained glass technique. It works on vellum. It looks good with both white embossing powder, but also with metallics. So silver and gold look really great as well. And I think it's one of my favorite techniques to use to give you a really soft look. See how nice this is? So it's looking really pretty. All right, so we can pop that straight on there if we wanted to, but I was thinking, seeing as I have some of this gorgeous DSP, for anyone who hasn't seen this DSP, it's really very pretty. So one side has like a wood grain on it, and you can sponge over it, you can add color, you can do all kinds of things to that, you can stamp on it, but the other side has got your main design. So this design is like bees and flowers on a cinnamon cider background, and on the back is like a diagonal wood grain. The wood grain is really useful, goes with everything. Then we've got pale papaya flowers with garden green stems and a different wood grain on the back. Wow. Yeah, Cookie's listening. Thank you. I'm glad you like it. This is the fresh freesia that's in the paper pack that matches, and the color, the blue that's in the paper pack is Misty Moonlight. If you don't have Misty Moonlight, don't panic. You can also use it with Night of Navy. It looks really nice with Night of Navy because they're very similar, just Night of Navy's darker. A more traditional wood grain on the back of that one. This one's actually my favorite, the blue and the white, because I love blue and white together. I always think they look lovely. And then we have pale papaya and fresh freesia flowers with garden green stems. The background is predominantly white, but if you wanted a different color background, you could easily use your blending brushes and change the background color. And this is garden green. Okay, so the garden green just stems, and of course a different wood grain on the back of that one. All right, so there we go. So I'm going to pull this one out simply because, well, quite obviously it's the perfect match, and I want to use a little bit of it, and I'm just sort of wondering how I'm going to do this. Am I going to add a little bit over the bottom? I think I might, or I could just put a strip in the middle. We could just do a strip coming from behind. What do you guys think? Shall we add the DSP, and should we add just a strip, or we add a piece at the bottom that this is going to sit on top? Either of them I think will look nice, but the first person to pick is the one we're going to go with. So we can either cut this one to size very, very simply with the trimmer, or we can cut a strip, or I could get rid of it altogether. What do you guys think? While you're deciding that, you think a strip, Joan? Okay, strip it is. All right, so I know this piece, because we measured it before, is 10 centimeters wide. So I'm just going to do, a 10 centimeter wide piece. And I'm going to make this, let's make it 2.5 centimeters or an inch. Let's try that. Actually, I think I just did the wrong piece. The other thing is you could, if you wanted to, instead of putting a whole strip down, just say you only had a small piece like this, you can cut it in half. I mean, I can still use the other piece, but instead we can just cut it in half and put a little bit in from each side to also make a pretend strip. So that's a nice thing to do if you've only got a scrap of paper and you want to make it look like a bigger strip. So what I'll do is I'll put my fresh freezer piece here, and I'm going to put these on. So I'm going to use, I don't know if you guys, but I always work with, you may have noticed, with grid paper underneath, and that makes it so easy to line stuff up. So if I put this piece, so it's just at the top of this black line here on my grid paper, and then I'm going to put this piece on the other side. And that's going to go in the same place, lining up with the same black strip, okay? And then this piece is going to go over the top, and it looks like the strip goes all the way through, but no one has to know that it doesn't. Shh, okay? So you must be very hot where you guys are. It's not too bad up here. I'm about, for anyone who doesn't know, I'm about 90 minutes north of Sydney on the Central Coast, and I mean, we've had we haven't had a hot summer at all. You know, we haven't had I shouldn't jinx it, but we haven't had a single 40-degree day for about 2 years, which is very unusual. All right, so I'm going to put this here, just like that. It's looking rather pretty, isn't it? Isn't it nice? All right, and I have already cut a circle. I'm going to put my circle right about here, and I'm going to have a word on my circle. So we can use the same stamp set, but there's not very many small greetings in this. It's really nice greetings, but the smaller greetings are in the other stamp set that's part of this suite, and that's the Honeybee Home. So we've got, we've got a Miss You that's quite small, Best of Luck and a Stay Wonderful. They're all quite small. Which one shall we use? Best of Luck, Miss You, or Stay Wonderful? Which one will we go with? 35 there today. Wow. I think it was about 25 here. I shouldn't boast, but that's what I think it was. I might use, because it's not a nice soft colour, I'm going to use my soft succulent ink pad for this. Miss You, says Jenny. Okay, that's the one we'll go with. So let's pop that. And we're just going to tap the colour on really gently. Now, I pushed too hard. Can you see I've got ink all the way around here? Particularly when you have fairly new ink pads or you've recently re-inked them, be very, very careful. I mean, I probably should just start again because I'm going to have to ink it up again anyway. So that probably would have been the smart thing to do. But I just tap a light tap. That's much better. And let's go straight down and straight up. It's really important not to rock your stamp, otherwise you can also transfer any ink that might be sitting on there. Now, I think, here we go. I also have, this might be too big. Actually, I think it is too big. This is a piece of shimmery fresh freesia, and it really is too big for this. So I'm not going to do that. I'm only going to put this one on. Initially, I thought it was just slightly bigger than the other circle. Now, I could roll this in my fresh freesia ink or use a sponge dauber and go around it. I think I will just roll it. This circle is actually one of the circles from the new Beautiful Shapes dies, which is part of the Abstract Beauty suite. So it's a different suite that I've used. I'm always looking for just nice basic shapes. This one's it's good because it's got hexagons in it and sort of oblongs and circles, and yeah, it's a really cool basic shape one. Edge it, says Margaret. Yeah, good thing, because I already did that, so that's awesome. Yes, we're having a very mild Central Coast summer, Denise. I agree. I'm not complaining about that at all. We've been very fortunate the last couple of years. And, I'm menopausal, so so it's really nice not to be too hot. All right, let's pop this over here. just like that. And I'm going to quickly drag, because, I mean, I could use, once again, I could use a sponge dauber, but I'm just going to drag this across my ink pad just to give a little bit colour around the edges. There we go. I think it needs a ribbon, don't you? So we have some choices. We have the open weave ribbon. That would look nice. And we also have the seam binding ribbon, the white. What do we think? Oh, that's not good. We don't want tiger snakes, or any kind of snake, actually. I am not a snake lover. I have a phobia of snakes, so I really don't want to hear about them being on anybody's porch, especially mine, but anybody's. White, says Kate. Okay, white it is. White, the white ribbon is the seam binding. The nice thing about this ribbon is you can make it any color you like. So I could, you know, run my blends along my ribbon and make it into a different color if I wanted to. Blends markers are really good for that. All right, let's. The nice thing about blends markers is they work on any surface, okay? They're alcohol markers, so you can use them on vellum. You can use them on anything, and they will color it. All right, so I'm thinking I could put the ribbon down here in the bottom corner, or I could put it up here on my sentiment. What do you guys think? Would you like it on the sentiment, or would we like it down in the corner? Either way. First person? Yeah, I would be calling someone and possibly, you know, moving out for a while. I do not like snakes. I think it goes back. I had my best friend when I was a little girl with my beautiful black Labrador puppy dog, and she used to protect me from snakes. She got several before one got her, and she lasted about a week, and I was devastated. It was a black snake. What do we think? First person was Judy, and you said the bottom. Okay, bottom it is. I'm going to pop this on a glue dot. I want the ribbon to be quite small. I don't want it to take away from the image at all. So just like that. There we go. I might trim this just a little bit shorter. And let's add some glue to the back and pop it on our card base. And for anyone who hasn't heard me say this before, the reason I like to use Tombow, I don't always, sometimes I use seal. So I've got my seal handy as well. But the reason I like Tombow is because when you put it on, because it's wet, you can wriggle it into place. You're not stuck with where it sticks immediately. You can take your time and make sure it's positioned correctly before you push it down. So it's handy for that. All right, let's add some rhinestones, because aren't these beautiful? If you haven't got any of these, this is definitely something to consider. They are absolutely stunning. One down here, a medium-sized one up here, and I'm deciding if I want to put my little tiny one up here on my sentiment or over here. Maybe over here, just for a bit of balance. And there we go. We have a beautiful card. Isn't that nice? It's a really soft, pretty effect. And it's very, very simple to do. So it's just on white vellum, embossed in white, and then colored over the back with blends to create that stained glass look. So, but it's soft because of the way the white vellum looks on top of the cardstock underneath. It's very pretty. Thank you. I like it too. You call them power surges. I should do that. I like that, Jenny. That's a great idea. That's fantastic. All right. Okay, so let's pop this one aside. That's our first card for tonight. Didn't take all that long. I mean, it's a pretty quick, easy technique, to be honest. I'm just going to get rid of a couple of things here. Move these to the side. Isn't that a beautiful stamp? I love this stamp. I would have bought that stamp set just for that stamp. As I remember, I think I got it for free, that stamp set. As a demonstrator, we get some perks like that for attending different things and stuff like that. Pretty sure I got that one for free. So, yes, emotional for no reason. We don't like that. We don't want that at all. The set that I've just used, it's called Blessings of Home, this one. Okay, it's really lovely, and it has matching dies. The matching dies are the, I probably should tell you the name of the dies. The bundle is called Blessings of Home. So I had them a moment ago, those dies, didn't I? It's right at the back here on page 59, I believe. There we go, 58 and 59. So the stamp set is called Blessings of Home. It's shown better on page 60. This one here, absolutely gorgeous. And then the dies are down the bottom, and they're the Flowers of Home dies. Okay, the whole bundle together, the stamps and the dies together, is $90 exactly. So that will get you a free celebration item right now as well. Okay, that celebration ends, well, interestingly, I'm not sure when it ends, because you'll love it, Margaret. Because celebration was meant to end at the end of February. In case you haven't heard the news, because we had a delay on so many of the celebration items at the beginning of January when it should have gone live, they are going to extend celebration into March. I don't know how far into March, but they are going to extend it a little bit. So if you're worried about getting everything you want to get before the end of the promotion, don't worry. They're extending it for us, which will really, really help people to get what they need without having to rush. So I think that's fantastic. It is a beautiful bundle. It's gorgeous. And I really, really love it. All right, let me move these blends out of the way. They end up taking over my desk. And I'm going to pull out something else. In fact, let's pull out a celebration thing. Let's do that. All right, so this is one of the things that came in this week, and this is called Sunshine and Rainbows DSP. And I have been having a lot of fun with this. It's so happy, and I love a good happy set. Okay, so you can see I've been pulling things out and it's all over the place, but some of these colors, and it just makes you happy. It's just beautiful. We've got polka dots. I mean, who doesn't love polka dots? And look, suns and bright colors on the back. They're stunning. Little rainbows with some granny apple green stripes on the back there. Little tiny stripes. More. I love the clouds. Guess why I love the clouds, guys? I did talk about this the other day. The clouds have something that matches them beautifully. And there it is. The cloud punch. How cool is that? So if you love something in here, you can see I've already been cutting clouds. I mean, why not, right? If I only want to use a part of a cloud, I can use one of these. Let me have to come up from the bottom a little bit because I've already started cutting. So as you move up, you have to cut underneath if you want one of the ones that's further up the piece of paper. All right, so then there's that. And I'm just going to snip this off because then I get access to this one. But aren't they cool? I love these. They're so much fun. So we've got, like, I could have a cloud that goes over the edge of the paper. Like, for example, let me find, just say I was using this piece of paper. I could have a cloud coming over the edge here and then another one here. Pop it up on dimensionals and it'd be really easy to work with. Okay, so these are really fun. I'll show you a couple of cards I've made with it so far. I did this one yesterday because it's just fun. I think I posted it already. I've used the dies down the side here. Well, I just see I've got a piece there to remove. Okay, so this is one of the dies that does this beautiful edge. It cuts out all the rainbow shapes. You've got the punch that I've used the cloud, one of these clouds, and then I've got some of the paper in the background. And I decided to just leave it because it looks like the sun, multiple suns, is coming out from behind the cloud. Isn't that fun? Just super, super easy. And so all I did was add one of the rainbows from the dies, added a cloud, added sentiment and a bit of an edge, and it's done. It's beautiful, but lots and lots of fun and very, very happy. Such a happy card. So I thought tonight, if you guys don't have an aversion, if anyone that has an aversion to pink, you might need to look away, because I'm going to make a pink rainbow card tonight just for something different. Isn't this nice? Look at the rainbow there. That's gorgeous. And on the back, you've got your blues. Beautiful colours. They're just happy. Kind of little tiny weeny rainbow stripes. Look at that. This was the one I think, Jenny, you said was a bit too bright, but I know that we can tone that down. I did do it for a card. I did a card for an upcoming tutorial bundle. And if ever you're interested in the tutorial bundles, they're all on my blog. I have one going at the moment with the Heart and Home bundle, and also have a class going with the Heart and Home bundle. So I'm really working that particular stamp set at the moment. It's gorgeous. Bermuda Bay, the stripes, and on the back you've got, what colour would that be? I'm wondering if it's Floaty Flamingo, but I'm wondering if it's pink enough to be Floaty Flamingo. I know there is Floaty Flamingo in this paper. More rainbows on the back. You've got, oh, I like this, like little pebbles on, looks like so saffron, doesn't it? Or it might be pale papaya. Hard to tell. I need to probably pull out the packs, and actually on the back of them it tells you what colours are in the pack. But yeah, lots and lots of fun things. And the paper by itself, you can do cards just with the paper without hardly any stamping, because it's just so much fun to throw all those different colours together and have fun with it. All right, so I've pulled out a couple of colours. Like I said, I was thinking let's do a pink card, because I don't work with just pink very often, and I've already cut a couple of pieces. Here we go. Here's some pinks. How cute is it? So this paper, this is this new supple shimmer paper. And I was telling some of you guys the other day, if anyone was watching me on Friday night, in the catalogue it says it's pink and blue. Okay, there's the pink, and that's pretty much the same colour that's in the catalogue, but that's supposed to be blue, and it's not blue really. It's, the colour is actually Iridescent Pool Party. In the catalogue it looks like a darker blue, like almost looks like the like balmy blue actually, or the old what was the colour we used to have? There was a colour we had recently that was in the last In Colours, and that's gone. But it reminds me of balmy blue, but definitely they got the colour wrong. This is so much nicer. It's much nicer in real life than it is in the catalogue. Even though I thought that was nice enough that I bought it, this is how it comes. So if you're thinking it's going to be blue, you'll be sadly mistaken, unless you really love Iridescent Pool Party, which I do. So there we go. It's really nice. So we can have a play with that. I could even cut some of this out if we want to. And then we've got a couple of pinks here, and I thought that might be rather nice. So I was thinking when I was putting this together, or thinking about what I wanted to do with this, this colour is Melamamba or Polish Pink. I think it might be Polish Pink. Either way, it's one of those nice dark pinks. And then I've got Floaty Flamingo on, can't speak tonight. And then I've also done one with the shimmer paper as well. I could, if I wanted to, use one of these, the shimmer paper. That's easy enough to do. But let's see how we go. Let's bring our trimmer and cut some paper. Too loud, you said. Yes, I remember you saying that last time, Jenny. Oh, hi, Tina. Oh, whoops. I just lost my broadcast. Where did I go? Give me 1 second. I think I was just... I accidentally clicked out of it, so I hope that you guys can see me. Can you see me okay? I think for a second I lost the visibility, but hopefully you guys could see me all right. So I'm going to cut this at 9.5 centimeters wide and 13.8 long. So I'm cutting a little bit smaller than a regular card front size. You can still see me. Great. It was just me that couldn't see me. And I'm deciding whether I'm going to cut a label, or you know what, I'm not. I'm just going to cut, the same width. So I don't know if you can see the little rainbows. Can you see the little rainbows on there? Aren't they cute? They're tiny, tiny little rainbows. All right, so let's try. I'm going to go with 3 inches because this is 6 by 6 paper. So actually that might be too much, but let's see. And then this is going to go on here. So you can see how easy peasy this paper is to work with. Seriously, it is super easy. I feel like I want to put some of this on here somewhere. You know, maybe I cut out one of these with the paper, or maybe I do a strip across. Let's try a strip and see how that looks. It's just going to be 0.5 centimeters, so it's tiny strip, tiny little strip. And I'm going to make it the same width as the paper. So maybe like this, like that. We're going very pink tonight, aren't we? Pink, pink, pink. Oh, good. I'm glad that we were still okay. I was a bit worried there for a second. All right. So it's coming together. Now, of course, we can add some clouds. Now, we can either cut the clouds out of any paper we like, or we can use the ones that I just cut out before. Give me a second, and we will locate them. There they are. Because that might be quite nice. So let's say if we go over here and maybe like this. What do you think? Do we like that? And then we need to have some words which are going to go across the bottom here. So I'm kind of liking how this is looking. It's super simple. Oh my goodness. All right, so let me quickly grab. I'm going to grab the rainbow dies. They're called, good name for them, Brilliant Rainbow Dies. Brilliant Rainbow Dies. And I really think they are. They're well named. You've just ordered the new blends. You mean the skin tone ones, Jenny? I've got them, but I haven't used them yet. So this piece here that's in these dies is what I've used to cut this. So I've actually cut this 4 times. I cut it once from this. Actually, I've only cut it 3 times because I used this color twice, and then I've used this one once. So I've actually got all those pieces that I could put other rainbows together. In fact, I think that's exactly what happened with, I used some of them with this. I've used the pink, and I've used, you can see I picked a few different colors in this case, but I did, these ones are leftovers. So let's put this piece here. I'm going to put it straight onto my other piece. I haven't decided what color to put at the base yet, but I'll work that out in a minute. So I'm just going to line that up with the edge there. I should have done it with my grid paper. It might be not completely straight. It's pretty close, but we'll pretend that that's straight. It won't matter too much. So I'm going to run my this piece here. This piece is going to be straight. So we're going pink, pink, and pink, and that's not something I normally do. I normally don't go pink. We have some, as you can see here, some smaller little clouds which we could also add if we wanted to, and I quite like this. I haven't used this piece yet, but I'm thinking this would be fun if you wanted to have like a greeting on here with the little rainbow bits coming out the side. That's kind of cute. Then you've got the big rainbow pieces like this. Okay, and this you can do multiple rainbows. Great for scrapbooking, great for all kinds of things. I've got a card here that I did with this one, you can see, and you may have seen some of these cards before. So I've used quite a few. I did this with, you can go, interestingly, you can go with it this way, so it's sort of, you're getting part of the rainbow. It's like almost a vertical rainbow sticking up, or you could go this way and have your rainbow going across ways. So you can have a landscape rainbow, or you can have a portrait rainbow. Either way, they both look good. All right, so let me put this, I'm going to put this one here on flat. They're super, super easy, these to work with. And this one I think I'm going to put up on dimensionals because that's kind of nice. So grab my dimensionals, which I've just put down in front of me. Goodness me, here they are. One, two. Take the backs off. You can see why it's not going to matter if it's not 100% straight, because you can't even see the straight lines anyway because we're covering them up with other things. All right, so I'm going to put my rainbow here. Easiest way to attach the rainbow, you could use seal if you want to, but I think the easiest way is with multi-purpose. So let's start. You can start with the biggest one and then work down to the smallest, or you can go the other way. It makes no difference. But it's kind of like doing a puzzle, and I think that's why I like these so much. They're kind of like puzzle pieces, and they all kind of fit together, and yeah, it's just fun. Yeah, a few people have said that to me, that they didn't like the rainbow initially. But I tell you what, if you want to pay attention when you're at the shops, if you're in a clothing shop or a homeware shop, look around. Rainbows are in, my friend. Seriously, I have seen so many rainbows all over the place. I've seen them on t-shirts, I've seen them on mugs, I've seen them on cushions. They're all over the place. So rainbows are the latest in thing. And so many times I see that Stampin' Up will bring out some new stamp set and I think, really? What do we need? What do we need owls for, or whatever? And all of a sudden I'm seeing them everywhere, and I realize that they're not silly. They bring out stuff that's on trend. They know what they're doing. Let's put the last one in here. So you can see how easy this set is to use. And you can create rainbows all day long, and it's going to look a little bit different, little bit, I don't know, unique every time. All right, now I'm deciding if I want to have my rainbow stamp set. Let me just grab my rainbow dies and move them out of the way. Put all those pieces. And the rainbows are right here. It's called Rainbows of Happiness, by the way. So the stamp set's called Rainbows of Happiness, and the dies are called Brilliant Rainbow Dies, and they are a bundle, of course. I'm deciding whether I'm going to have you make me happy, because I think this is a really nice sentiment, and it fits really, really nicely on this card, because we're going to pop it down here underneath our rainbow. But am I going to use which color? Am I going to go Melon Mambo, which is a nice hot pink, or am I going to go Bermuda Bay for my words? We could go either way, and they're both going to look really, really nice. So first person to choose either Bermuda Bay or Melon Mambo for our words is going to be the one that we pick. Anybody? What's the choice? Which way are we going to go? Bermuda Bay, says Nari. Okay, Bermuda Bay it is. And we have a few people saying Bermuda Bay. Oh, Cherie said Melon Mambo. Sorry, Cherie. Too slow. Sorry. Right, so You Make Me Happy is going straight onto our card under our rainbow. There it is right there. All right. Now this is going to end up on our white card base, but I would like to put the whole thing onto another color. So maybe we choose Bermuda Bay Melon Mambo this time. So one possibility is Flirty Flamingo. So this is that color. That's quite pink, isn't it? Another possibility would be Blushing Bride, which is the lighter color, which is what this is, this paper here. Or we could choose melon mambo. I've got some, don't have any scraps of melon mambo because it's not a colour I use all that often. So this is how that would look if you have a little look around here. So that's going to bring out this darker colour here. I do like the melon mambo. So now I'm asking the question about the cardstock, not the ink. Which way will we go? Melon mambo. I'm tempted to use this. I think that's really nice. Or we could go Blushing Bride, or we could go, and I'm thinking this is my least favorite, the Floaty Flamingo. What do you guys think? All right, people are saying melon mambo, and I'm assuming now we're talking about the cardstock, not the ink, yeah? Should be careful. I should have got you to write the word cardstock or ink so I knew which ones we were saying, but never mind. Just confusing myself. All right, let's cut it. That's what we're going to do. We're going to go melon mambo. So the cardstock size is always roughly 14.8 centimeters and 10 centimeters wide. All right, I think that looks good. What do we think? Do we like that? Actually, I just realized I cut that to 14.8 is not right. It's 14.3. Sorry, I just misinformed you. And I just got my AirPod out of my ear. You like the melon? Yes, the cardstock, yes. So this is very pink, even for me. I don't mind pink, but I don't use it. I'm much more of a blue user than a pink user, but this is something a little different today, right? And I think because we've got that iridescent pool party and a bit of Bermuda Bay in there as well, it's not too pink. I think it's offsetting it really nicely. So there we go. If we wanted to, we could add ribbon. I'm not going to because I've got my glitter and everything, and I think that's okay. We've also got, we've got 2 nice cards tonight, guys. We'll put this on a white card base, and I'll post both these cards over the next 12 hours or so that you guys can see what they look like when I've got them under nice lights and how they all come together. Burn folder. Let's add this. So if you're looking for actually both of them, I was going to say you're looking for an easy set to use. Both these sets that I've used tonight are super easy sets to use. Okay, they're either you're going to color in the images, or you're just going to work with, you know, random rainbows and some clouds, and I mean you can't really go wrong with these. Do we need bling? Like, or do you think that's enough? But I could add. Do you know what? I don't think there's very many cards that those iridescent rhinestones don't look good on. I'm a big fan of them. I mean, we could add them onto here as well, and that would also look beautiful. I mean, how can it not, right? And let's have a little tiny guy. Look at him up here on the cloud. There we go. Just for fun. Three little rhinestones on each card. And there we go. 2 beautiful cards. So how did we go? And why are there angry faces? I'm seeing angry faces. Somebody's pressed the angry face button. I'm wondering why they're angry. Did I make somebody cross? Goodness me. I have to, if possible, unless you really are angry and I really am making you cross, don't leave cross faces, because I've heard that it can hurt the Facebook algorithm, and Facebook starts to think that you're making people cross and they don't play your videos very much anymore. So we don't want to do that. It doesn't look, it's not a good look. But if you are really cross about something, let me know and I'll try and sort it out for you. But I did see that we have some cross faces. Good night to everyone. Have a fantastic week. I'll post these for you. Thanks for being with me tonight. We've just had our hour or so here on a Sunday night, and I love spending it with you, and thank you very much. Don't forget, if you're interested in the blessings of home particularly, but any of these things, I have the Heart and Home online class running this week, and if you'd like to be part of that, a $50 order, we'll get that for you, or you can just buy the tutorial and I will send it to you, and that is $20 Australian. So either of those things are great. All the details are on my blog, and I'll put those details in the YouTube description below. If you haven't already, subscribe to my channel so you can see when I go live, and I will see you all next Friday night. I do have a new tutorial going up. I think I may have mentioned it to a couple of people. I'm going to do a tutorial for this little card here, which is a little fancy fold card that I'm going to have up for you this week on YouTube. So look out for that. Have a great week, guys. Oh, thanks, Judy. See everybody soon. Bye-bye.